Hi friends, welcome to World Cinema Forum. Today we are going to analyze the web series titled The Railwaymen, released last week on Netflix. So let's begin. The plot. This 4-episode limited series condenses events of that fateful night of December 1984 into things as they transpired at the Bhopal Junction railway station. More than condensing, it's the lens of public service which becomes our method of viewing a man-made catastrophe as it unfolds, in meticulously detailed iterations. On the eve of the gas leak, people go about their normal lives in the vicinity of the Union Carbide plant. The warning signs were there, and so was the disinclination to do something about them. I don't want any alarms until someone is dying or is dead, a grumpy, white-skinned manager of the factory yells to his juniors. We know what will happen, a vague idea of how it might play out, but no sense of preconceived notion about this is going to take away the joy of watching the wonderfully scripted Railwaymen. The making. Directed by Shiv Ravel, The Railwaymen, as the title suggests, follows the overlapping arcs of a couple of good men who rose to the occasion on a night from hell. We know the broad details, but the focused attention to a singular thread gives it the momentum and intimacy that maybe storytelling around tragedy usually lacks. Sure, this is a narrative about heroism, but nothing about it feels as gung-ho and euphoric as maybe romanticized ideas around public good do. The creators remind us time and again of the physical, financial and psychological costs of negligence and impunity. In service of its against-the-clock grammar and pace, the limited series feels just the right length. It neither overstates the dodginess nor overstates the defiance that men, stalled by responsibility, can summon. No great dialogues or philosophical musings leave this station. We were just doing a job, a character fittingly says about the tone and tenor of it all. The performances. Kay Menon plays Iftikhar Siddiqui, the traumatized but righteous station master of Bhopal Junction. On the eve of the tragedy, Siddiqui carries on with his usual tasks, overseeing the running of a compact but fairly chaotic station. Looking at Kay Menon as a viewer, you come to know that he has given everything he has for this role. There are times that he emotes the grief and guilt through his eyes without even a dialogue. Kay Menon is joined in his pursuit of control and order by a new recruit, Imad Riaz, played by an excellent Babil Khan. Now, what to tell you about Babil Khan? He elevates even moments of narrative laxity, if any. Each and every frame between Kay Menon and Babil are standout moments of this series. When Babil says, "ये मेरी बस्ती है, मेरा शहर है, कुछ हुआ तो लोग मेरे मरेंगे," you can feel the earnestness in his voice to save the people. I literally loved Babil, and I must say that he has a long way to go. Well, Divyenndu Sharma plays a disgruntled corrupt officer circling the same area with an air of menace. And as always, he has pulled off the role quite beautifully. R. Madhavan and Juhi Chawla in their roles were equally good and were able to put an impact by their acting. The four men become the center of an unfolding crisis, the ambit, the disastrous implications of which have to be learnt, rationalized and responded by a minute. A railway platform thus becomes both a character and the destination of a narrative that maneuvers, torments and crushes you in places you might not have even known existed. Sunny Hinduja as a journalist who could see the tragedy coming but is baffled by the sheer scale and brutality still. His face is at once of mourning and crippling regret, of the knowledge that all that suffering could have been prevented had somebody listened to him. Sunny is exceptional in his role. And not to miss Raghubir Yadav. Though he had very few scenes, but he was a treat to watch. A special mention to the kids who played the boys living on the platform. I literally loved their performance. The analysis. There are at least half a dozen images in Netflix The Railwaymen that might make the insides of your brain howl. The kind of howl only sore, raw readings of tragedy can extract from reflexes that have been dulled to the sight and sense of loss. We have been raised to accommodate disaster. People die in our own news breaks, in our third page headlines, in front of our eyes, even with a sort of procedural regularity. which dehumanizes the very act of perishing from this planet. In that context, the Bhopal gas tragedy is a pivotal moment in this country's modern history. An inflection point so surreal, so critical to the nation's understanding of collective loss, that any attempt to revisit or recreate it comes with the burden of doing justice in the form of creative hindsight. To which effect, the Railwaymen is enthralling, shattering, and moving in ways that very few shows on Indian streaming might have ever been. The Railwaymen turns its eyes towards something life-affirming, so the larger tragedy complies with the emotional threshold of blunt, unclothed suffering. It will be obviously compared with HBO's Chernobyl, but in some ways, it surpasses the watchability of that landmark show through its desire to reinstall some resemblance of faith. Hope is perhaps the only filter we can see disasters through, the only thing preventing us from caring even less if that were even possible. Here, the bearability of life, until it ceases to exist, is only surpassed by the moment that many seem its end. Maybe this is our way of deluding ourselves that lives, including ours, are worth fighting for. More so, they are worth mourning over. To that hapless, delirious notion, the Railwaymen offers a frantic, exceptional foundation. This show is simply unmissable. That's the end of the video, guys. I hope you are liking the content that we are bringing to you. If yes, please do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. Till the next video, goodbye.